Okay, I have gone. I've eaten dinner. I know a ton of content today. Thanks for following along all weekend, by the way. But before we embark on this next journey, which is full fledged analysis every single day for the next several weeks and months about the 49ers draft class and their full 90-man roster, we've got to put the actual draft to bed on draft night. I tweeted a picture a little bit earlier of the sun setting over Levi Stadium. So the draft is over. The 49ers have signed their undrafted free agents. Not officially, they haven't released that yet, but I think by the time that maybe Monday rolls around, we'll get the official press release. I want to go through briefly what the 49ers did in, just a little bit less of a long form show. I want to talk about this in concise fashion and take a look at the draft class, which we have right here on the Athletic, on the wrap up piece that Matt Barrows and I wrote. Everything from Ricky Pearsall, who, there's still people complaining about the Ricky Pearsall pick. Why did they pick him in the first round? Well, there was a run on wide receivers right after that. He would have gone, in all likelihood, a few picks later. So the 49ers have an extra year of control on Ricky Pearsall's contract because of the fifth-year option, and they made the number one offense better. That's the bottom line, period. The 49ers made the number one offense better with Ricky Pearsall. I think a lot of people were operating under false assumptions, too, that they're going to let go of Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel. They weren't. They have added to the receiver room, and when adding to the receiver room, you also have to talk about Jacob Cowing, the fourth-round pick. Between Pearsall and Cowing, you've got a couple of weapons. If you ever lose Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk next year due to injury, I think you're a lot more insulated. You're not having to talk about activating Danny Gray off of IR, as was the case for the 49ers this season. By the way, the post-draft dinner for me today, I decided to go check out San Jose, and I don't regret going to check out San Jose. La Delicias de Toñita, the taco truck in downtown San Jose. This is one of the better burritos I've had in the Bay Area. I was very pleasantly surprised. Shout out to those of you who live in San Jose, but they have got the Dorado style down, the flaky tortilla. I had the carne asada. You could see the avocado in there. It was good. It's not too far off 87, right there in a little parking lot. Then for good measure, I got the Al Pastor taco. And this is what it looks like. La Delicias de Toñita. Probably 49ers fans, too. Wrapped in foil, just like a proper mission-style burrito. We talk about a wrap-up of the draft, old burrito. We wrap up all the good ingredients, and 49ers got a lot of good ingredients in this NFL draft. I'll let this keep on playing as I talk about Renardo Green. That was the 49ers' second-round draft pick. He's a really feisty cornerback out of Florida State. Now, I want to see Renardo Green after a few months or a year in an NFL weight room. Renardo Green is a player. He's 186 pounds right now, 5'10", 5'11", not the biggest cornerback, but at the college level, at least, Renardo Green succeeded because just pure willpower. Decent athleticism, pure willpower, good ball skills. Give him some time in an NFL weight room, kind of like Deommodore Lenoir. Lenoir came into the NFL, I thought, with a little bit of need to bulk up. I mean, Ambry Thomas, that's the one that never really panned out strength-wise for the 49ers, right? He's constantly struggled at the catch point, and I don't think he's ever added the muscle that the 49ers have needed him to add. But when you look at somebody like Renardo Green, when that NFL weight room takes hold after a few months, I think he'll be a little bit more than 186 pounds. I think he'll get up to 190 plus, and I think he's going to be a player that can hold his own both inside and outside for the 49ers. And this is by far the deepest cornerback room that the 49ers have ever had under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And Renardo Green is going to have to work to earn playing time over a lot of these players. Obviously, Charvarius Ward is in there. This might be his last season with the 49ers. They've picked up younger guys and less expensive guys, but the problem is for the 49ers, and this is why they had to draft Renato Green, not a lot of guys under contract beyond this 2024 season. Obviously, Lenore, who's looking for that contract extension right now. Final year on his rookie deal. Isaac Yiadom, Rock Yassin, Darrell Luter Jr. People have almost forgotten about him. He was drafted by the 49ers in the 5th round last year. So what's it going to be for Renato Green? We shall see. But I think that he has the mentality. I see a lot of parallels to Deommodore Lenoir coming out of the draft in 2021, and it's going to be about adding a little bit of strength for Renato Green at the NFL level. I think Dominic Pooney, the offensive lineman out of Kansas, I mean, he essentially has played every single position. I haven't played center, but saw some center snaps at the Senior Bowl. He's fascinating. If he's a great pass protector. He was at the college level. Didn't give up a single sack at Kansas. Now, they're talking about him as a guard. The arms might be shortish, a little bit shorter than you would like for a tackle, but they're also saying that he has tackle adaptability. Today I asked Tariq Ahmad, who's the 49ers director of player personnel, I asked him if that it was just a this year thing or if this is an every year thing that they're specifically looking for linemen who could play multiple positions. And he said this has been an every year thing for the 49ers. They've been looking for linemen who can play multiple positions. Well, in the case of Dominic Pooney, that is very, very true. And even if they're looking at him as a guard, he played more tackle at Kansas State. You wonder, can he push Colton McKivitz? Is that something that the 49ers will look toward? Because they may have the guard positions buttoned up. John Feliciano was good last year. He's back for another season. And Aaron Banks is on the final year of his rookie deal at left guard. So Pooney could take any of those positions. But I think that the weakest spot, if the 5 starters from the Super Bowl start, is right tackle because Feliciano had replaced Spencer Burford. Going to be really, really interesting to see where Dominic Pooney plays. Malik Mustafa. It's not Malik. Malik Mustafa out of Wake Forest, the safety. I'll put the draft list back here for you as we wrap this up. Hard hitter. And you wonder, is the future pairing going to be him and Jair Brown? What does Talanoa Hufanga do after this year? Do the 49ers re-sign him? A lot of it's going to be how well Mustafa adapts to covering downfield at the NFL level. I don't think his range is terrible, but he's not an elite athlete, doesn't have elite range, doesn't have an elite burst, but what he does have is great instincts near the line of scrimmage. He's a player that's extremely versatile, played a position of versatility for Wake Forest that saw him at single high, that saw him down near the line of scrimmage, that saw him in a standard linebacker alignment. I think the 49ers are going to love that, and that's going to help Malik Mustafa get early playing time in the NFL. Isaac Guerendo, I don't think there's anything controversial about this. People trying to make controversies up. Oh, they traded a couple 5th-round picks to move up into the 4th round with a crowded roster. They needed to get a running back that fit. They needed to get a running back that they really like so that way he would actually make it onto the 53-man roster. You can't just go and get some chump in round 6 and 7 and expect that guy to be able to make a crowded roster. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll find an Elijah Mitchell in the 6th round. Sometimes you won't, though. Isaac Guerendo has some of the best measurables that you'll ever see. We're talking one of the most elite relative athletic scores since 1987. Thousands of running backs ever since this started to be tracked. He is a 4.3 guy, the fastest running back in this NFL draft class at 221 pounds. Even if he can't contribute on offense, even if Christian McCaffrey hogs all the snaps, the 49ers special teams is going to get a lot better thanks to Isaac Guerendo. Talked about Jake Cowing already. Then we talked about Jarrett Kingston, another plus athleticism guy from USC. At this part of the draft, once you're down at the 6th round, it's going to be tougher to expect the guy to make the team. But again, there is a specific positive skill set that Jarrett Kingston brings to the board, and that is one of a very athletic lineman, great burst at the line of scrimmage, moves well, and He's been a good pass protector in college because he comes from the pass pro background, Washington State under Mike Leach before USC. So he could fight for an interior spot. The arms aren't very long, so you might even think center with Jared Kingston. And then finally, Tatum Bethune. Tatum Bethune, I mean, he just kills people out on the field. This guy hits. He hits, and hits. Not the best in coverage. 4.75 40, not the fastest linebacker. But Tatum Bethune is a hitter. And you need a tone setter on any defense. And Tatum Bethune, he's going to have a chance during training camp in the preseason to show what he's made of. So that's a look at the 49ers draftees. They also have the undrafted free agents. And when you look at the roster, you can see where exactly each player is slotted in. Right, left side of the dividing line is a 53-man projection. Right side of the dividing line, I'm projecting on the outside looking in, obviously with a chance at the practice squad. Tanner Mordecai, quarterback. Mordecai I think he was actually at SMU before Wisconsin. So it was Danny Gray's quarterback in college. Cody Schrader, the Missouri running back. That guy's a beast. He's an attitude runner. He's got a shot. If we say Isaac Guerendo's got a shot, Isaac Guerendo obviously has a lead because he was a third-round pick. But Cody Schrader is a good player as well. Look out for Cody. I've got him here on the right side. We're going to delve deeper into him over the coming weeks. Tariq Owens, Terrell's son. He's going to be there in that receiving room. A lot of receivers for the 49ers are going to be competing for probably at most 6 spots. At times, they've taken 7. I like Mason Pline, the tight end. There were some teams that were talking about him as high up as the 5th round. Former basketball player, recent convert, raw prospect in relation to some of the more polished tight ends in the NFL draft. But that might be the reason to stick with this guy. And the 49ers, it's wide open, by the way, behind George Kittle for tight end 2. It is wide open. The 49ers have been looking for that tight end 2 for a long time. Mason Pline, he can high point the football. He's a good athlete, former basketball player. Will he be the one that assumes that role? We'll see. The offensive line, they didn't only pick up Dominic Pooney. They also, as I said, picked up Jared Kingston. And Drake Nugent was an all Big Ten center at Michigan, former Stanford center, transferred after David Shaw resigned at Stanford. And then Bryson Mays, who played center at Southern Miss. But an all Big Ten center, he might be a little small. That's why he was an undrafted free agent. But you've got to pay attention to what Drake Nugent might do. So the 49ers have Brendel. We'll see where Zakel comes in this year after tearing his biceps last year. Corey Luciano, the Washington product from the East Bay, will be a second season with the team. He was on the practice squad last year. But look out for Drake Nugent. That was an intriguing post-draft addition that I'll delve more into later. And we go down to Evan Anderson, the defensive tackle who did the big flip into the pool. 49ers now have, 16 or 18 defensive, 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 defensive linemen on the roster. And then there was a reported signing of Jalen Mahoney, who's a safety out of Vanderbilt. Malik Mustafa and Jalen Mahoney, Wake Forest and Vanderbilt. That, my friends, is who the 49ers added. 15 players. I'm going to be traveling a lot here over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about them from some exciting parts of the world. We're going to be mixing it in with good spots for you to eat. San Jose, I slept on it. I'm not going to lie. I slept on San Jose, but Las Delicias de Toñita, the taco truck in San Jose. This is a wrap. Not what you're looking at. This is a wrap on the 49ers draft, but they wrapped up the burrito nicely. The Dorado style. Look at that flaky tortilla. It was so good. There's a reason I'm putting it up on the channel. San Jose got a good burrito downtown. I'm going to be back there for the Dwight Clark Legacy Series event in less than a month. And when I am back there, I think I'm going to eat here at Las Delicias de Toñita. I mean, they even got the foil right. I was really enamored with this place. Look at that. Look at that flaky. I mean, it took a little while to make. And by the way, it's a little truck in a parking lot out there, and they have a tent, and you sit outside. So I'd recommend it for when it's a little bit warmer at night. It's a little bit chilly tonight, but had to reward myself after a nice weekend of draft coverage. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody sleeps well tonight. We'll talk to you soon.